Hi everyone, welcome back to the Mindful Dose YouTube channel. For this class, you may or may not need 2 blocks, that is your choice. This is an inversion flow for 30 minutes, so get excited because we're going upside down. When you're ready, grab your mat and meet me there. See ya. Hey everyone, we're starting class off at the top of our mat. Feet are hip width distance apart. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And open your mouth. Exhale, let everything go. Option to close your eyes here or just to keep your gaze soft. We'll take another cleansing breath in through the nose. And deep breath out the mouth. Remember that the exhale is just as important as the inhale. Inhale in through the nose. And deep breath out the mouth. Open your eyes if you have them closed. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Watch the palms touch. And as you exhale, bring the prayer straight through down, forward fold. I encourage you to keep your knees bent here, bringing your belly onto thighs. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Rest your hands onto your knees or onto your thighs as you lengthen the back. And then as you exhale, forward fold, bending the knees. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Bring your arms up overhead. Watch the palms touch. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. We're warming up with a couple of Suryas. So inhale, arms come up overhead. Watch the palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the back halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Watch the palms touch. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. 2 more Suryas, just like that. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Your legs may start to straighten up a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Watch the palms touch. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Last one. Inhale, up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Watch the palms touch. Exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Alright, let's begin to move. We're kicking up the energy here. So inhale, arms up, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, lower the fingertips down, bend the knees here. Step this left foot back, come into a low lunge. Lower the back knee down gently, and then lift the back knee back up. Lower the back knee down, lift it up. Lower it down, lift it up. Extend this right arm up towards the ceiling. Watch the hand reach towards the ceiling. And then lower that right hand down. Step this left foot up, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips down. Step the right foot back, coming into a low lunge. Back knee lowers down. Lift it back up, lower it down, lift it up. Last one, lower it down, lift it up. Extend the left arm up towards the ceiling, look up at that left hand, and then lower this left hand down. Lower the palms down. Step back into a downward facing dog, the very first one of the practice. So make it a fidgety dog, bend one knee at a time, straightening the opposite leg. Feel free to pick up the speed, taking your downward facing dog for a jog. Option to dip one shoulder in towards the center. Feel free to bend both knees, pivot on the balls of the feet, bringing the heels to one side of your mat, and then straightening the legs, bending the knees, pivoting on the feet, straightening the legs for a skiing dog. These are all fidgety variations you can take. as you warm up your downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth as you lower the knees down as wide as your mat, hips to heels. Lower the forehead down onto the mat, arms are extended for child's pose. This is your resting pose, so at any point in your practice when you need to take a break, come into this pose. Inhale, look up at your hands. Slide your belly forward onto the mat. Press into your hands, lift your chest and sternum an inch or two off of the mat for baby cobra. Then lower the forehead down. Inhale, full cobra, straighten the arms, but keep the elbows bent slightly. Hips are super heavy, your neck is long. And then lower the forehead down, exhale. Press your hips back through child's pose. As you tuck the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. Let's move through that flow one more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, look up at your hands, slide forward. Press into your hands, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, full cobra, straighten the arms. Exhale, lower down. Press your hips back through child's pose. Lift up, downward facing dog. Look up at your hands. Inhale, pull forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. As you exhale, bend the knees, lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale, pull forward into plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, pull forward plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pull forward into plank once more. On the exhale, lower down on a 3 count. 3, 2, 1, all the way down. Forehead comes down. Extend the right arm out to the right like a capital letter T. So your arm is in line with your shoulder, palm is facing down. Roll onto the right side. These are called spatulas. And step your left foot behind you so you're stretching out the right shoulder. Come back to center. Pull this right hand back in by your rib cage. Extend the left arm out to the left, palm is facing down. Spatulas on the left side, roll onto the left side, step the right foot behind you. Come back to center, pull this left hand back in. Slide your hands back an inch, right there around the rib cage. Hug the elbows behind your rib cage. Tops of their feet are on the mat. As you inhale, straighten your arms. Press into the feet so your legs hover off of the ground for upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Pull forward into plank. Inhale. Exhale, knees come down into tabletop position. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Hug the elbows in so that the elbow creases are rolling forward to the top of your mat. All 10 fingers are pressing down into the mat. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Cat-cow breathing. Exhale, round the back. Push the ground away, look towards your navel. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, round, push the ground away. Inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, round, push the mat away. Come to a flat back, neutral spine. Flip this right palm up and then straighten this right arm. So I'm going to show you on this way. Flipping the right palm up so the top of the back of the hand is on the mat. Straighten the right arm so you're not bulldogging. And then you can stay here. You might be feeling maximum stretch here. If you want to further stretch this out, lean over to the right, lean forward, lean to the left, lean back. So we draw a circle, then reverse the direction. Going to the left first, flipping the right palm over once you're done. Other side, flip the left palm up, straighten that left arm, then lean over to the left, lean forward, lean over to the right, lean back. Reverse the direction, leaning forward and over to the left. When you're done, flip this left palm over. So we stretched out the wrist. Sit on your heels. Let's just shake it out, shake those muscles out. I like to call these the bird that can't fly. Being super gentle. The other one is drawing the nails. Bring your arms up overhead. biceps by your ears. Close your palms, open, close, and then try to move them a little bit faster. Keep those arms glued by your ears. Open and close, faster, faster. Feel the burn in your forearms. Your forearms are connected to your wrist and they play a big role in the inversions of your practice. So it's important that we fire them up and get them strong. All right, shake it out once more time. One more time. All right, back into tabletop position. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Inhale, lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. Look up at that right hand. As you exhale, slide this right arm behind the left wrist. Lower your right shoulder and your right temple to the mat. All right, so your head is relaxed here. Press this right hand back into the mat to help you roll this left shoulder back. Pop up onto left fingertips like you have a tennis ball underneath your hand. And then extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. You can stay here, or if you feel comfortable, flip the palm, bend at the elbow, and look for the right hip crease. Once you have the bind, try to roll that left shoulder back. If you don't have the bind, that's okay. Just work on trying to open up the shoulders and the chest. Gently release the bind if you have it. Lower the left hand down. Press back up into tabletop position. Other side, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Look up at that left hand. And then slide that arm behind the right wrist, lowering your left shoulder down. Back of your left hand is pressing into the mat. Pop up onto right fingertips like you have a tennis ball under your right hand. And then extend the right arm up towards the ceiling. If you're comfortable, flip the palm, bend at the elbow, look for the left hip crease, rolling that right shoulder back. And then gently release the right arm up, lower the hand down, press back up into tabletop position. Walk your knees 2 inches back, tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips, coming into downward facing dog. Before we move, I want you to find your shape here. So all 10 fingers are pressing down into the mat. Elbows are hugging in towards the center. You're pressing your chest back towards your thighs. You can keep your knees bent if that's easier for you. Don't worry if your heels are not touching the ground. One day they will. Inhale, pull forward into plank pose. Exhale, bend the knees, lift up, down dog. Inhale, pull forward, plank. Exhale, down dog. 2 more. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, down dog. Last one, pull forward, hold this plank. We're going into chaturanga. Option to keep the knees down onto the mat, or on the exhale, bend the elbows, lower the body halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, coming onto the tops of your feet. And then tuck the toes under, lift up, downward facing dog. That is a vinyasa. Come on into the tiptoes and slowly, taking your time, walk to the top of your mat, trying not to lift your hands until you need to. And then make your way to the top. Once you get to the top, bend the knees, bring the belly onto thighs, grab opposite elbows, and just sway your upper body from side to side. For ragdoll, let the tension in your head go along your necks. Just shake out your head yes, shake it no, shake it maybe. Release the elbows, place a bigger bend in the knees, slowly roll up to stand. Bone by bone, let the head be the last thing to come up. Fix your yoga pants, fix your shirt. Make any adjustments you need. Okay. All right, so we are approaching the inversions. Let's continue. Hands to prayer at heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, watch the palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, fingertips come down to the mat. Step the left foot back, low lunge. Lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. Twist. Lower the right hand down. Lower the back knee down. Sink your hips forward. Let this front knee come past the ankle so you stretch out the left hip flexor. And as you exhale, walk your hands back, come into a half split, peeling these front toes towards your face. Make sure your hips are squared. Right hip is pulling back, your left hip is pulling forward. Inhale, come forward, sink your hips, lift your chest. Exhale, rock back. Rebend the front knee. Hands come down to the mat, lift the back knee up. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come forward into baby cobra. Exhale, forehead comes down. Inhale, full cobra, straighten the arms. Exhale, forehead comes down. Press your hips back through child's pose. Lift up into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. So try to square off your hips. Pull this right knee in towards your chest. Lean your shoulders over your wrist. Step this right foot. Grab and drag it if you need to. In between your hands. Lower the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Sink your hips forward as you reach your arms forward, up and back, arching your back for crescent lunge. And then on the exhale, lower the hands down. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the back knee up. Step up. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Watch the palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, fingertips come down. Step the right foot back, low lunge. Lift this left arm up towards the ceiling, twist. Lower this left hand down. Palms come flat. Back knee comes down. Sink your hips, lift your chest, let this knee come past the ankle. These are called rocking pyramids. Rock your hips back, straighten the front leg, square off the hips. This time the left hip pulls back as the right hip pulls forward. Inhale, come forward, sink your hips, lift your chest. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, come forward. Lower the hands down to the mat, lift the back knee up. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, pull forward plank. We're going into chaturanga. Option to lower your knees down. Exhale, bend the elbows back. Lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift up. Downward facing dog. Lift the left leg straight up and back. 3-point dog. Pull this left knee in towards your nose. Step this left foot in between your hands. Grab and drag it if you have to. Back knee gently lowers down. Untuck the toes. Sink your hips forward as you reach your arms forward, up and back, crescent lunge. Then lower the hands down. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the back knee up. Step up into a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Watch the palms touch. As you exhale, bend your knees, reach your arms up by your ears, palms face one another for chair pose. So chair pose, you have two options with your feet and your legs. Your feet can be hip width distance apart. Everything is hip width distance apart if you choose that option. No halvesies, or everything is together. Your arms can be on an angle like this, or they can come out forward like you're driving a car. Whatever is more comfortable for you today in your practice. Sink a little bit more into this chair pose. And then inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, lower the hands down, bend the knees, step back into plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Spatulas round 2. Extend the right arm out to the right, palm is facing down. Roll onto the right side, set the left foot behind you. Come back to center, pull this right hand back in. Extend the left arm out to the left, palm facing down. Roll onto the left side. Right foot steps behind you. Come back to center, pull the left hand back in. Straighten the arms for full cobra. And then tuck the toes. Lift up into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. Pull this right knee in towards your chest. Step the right foot in between your hands. Keep the back heel lifted as you rise up for high lunge. Gently lower the back knee down. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Twist to the right. Hook the left elbow to the outside edge of the right thigh. Keeping your hands at heart center, press into it so that your chest twists to the right a little bit more. You can stay here or lift up the back knee, coming into this twisted lunge. And then release, coming back up into a high lunge. Lower the hands down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg straight up and back, 3-point dog. Pull the left knee in towards your chest. Step this left foot in between your hands. Rise up, high lunge. Whoops. On the left side. Front knee is bent over the front ankle. Lower the back knee down. Bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Twist to the left. Hook the left elbow to the outside edge of the left thigh. Hands to prayer. Press into one another. You can stay here or tuck the back toes under. Lift the back knee up for a twisted high lunge. Gently release, coming back up into a high lunge. On the exhale, lower the hands down to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Look up at your hands. Lower the knees down. I was just going to trick you guys. Lower the forehead down. So here's our first inversion play of the class. Whew. So in my classes, I usually play around with balancing on your hands. And in this class, we're working on tucks. Now, tucks, they can seem a little bit scary, but anyone can do them. It's really just a matter of moving with your breath, making sure you're breathing as you move, and pressing your brake pads, which are your fingertips, into the mat. To do these tucks, I will show you, I'll demo it for you, and then we'll do them together. So my hands will be shoulder width distance apart as they are in downward facing dog. Make sure to not dump in the heels of your wrist, so you got to lean your shoulders forward. Coming up into downward facing dog, we set up by bringing the feet together, taking one step in and one step over to the right. We're traveling here. So your legs are together, hands are shoulder width distance, fingertips are pressing into the mat. Full activation here. As we inhale, lean forward, bend the knees. On the exhale, kick the heels to your bottom and land your feet on the other side. It's super simple. I'll show you the variations that this can look like, all right, and you choose where you are. Hands are shoulder width distance, feet are glued together. Inhale, bend, leaning forward. Exhale. All right, you can be short like that, or you can, come up a little bit higher. All right, and I'm sure you hear this. There's a big audible exhale as I travel from side to side. So as I bring my legs up, everything is engaging and coming together. So let's do it together. Hands shoulder width distance. Lift the knees, lift the hips. Take one step in. Take one step over to the right. Squeeze the legs together. Lean forward. Inhale, bend the knees. Look between your hands. On the exhale, land to the left side. Inhale, bend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. Awesome. Take a child's pose. Meet me back into downward facing dog. Bring your legs together. Bend both knees. Inhale. Look up at your hands. On the exhale, take a little leap. Land your feet behind your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your back halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Watch the palms touch over your head. Exhale, back into your chair pose. Find your chair legs here, your arms, Just make sure your belly's engaged. Sink a little bit more into your chair pose. Sink a little bit more. Lower your hips all the way down. Lift the legs up, coming into Navasana, boat pose. For this boat pose, you can bend the knees. Arms are in line with your shins, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Just try to pull your chest through your arms, avoiding routing the back. All right, little ab work here. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale. Oh, I hope my mic didn't go out. We're good. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, boat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, boat. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, boat. Hug the back of your legs and take 3 rock-ups, rocking all the way back, all the way up. After your third one, come into a comfortable seat, grab some water. So the first inversion we're working on is, actually the only inversion we're working on is bound headstand. So hands will interlace. If you saw my how-to video, I'm going to skip a lot of the jargon. Hands are interlaced, pinky is tucked under. Place the forearms down. Rest the head down onto the mat in between your forearms. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips. Walk the feet in, and then just play around with coming onto your tiptoes. Just make sure your neck is long here. You're not scrunching up like a scared turtle. You are a proud turtle. So as you come onto the tiptoes, play around with maybe tucking one knee in towards your chest, bringing the other. With a big exhale, it will come to you. You can straighten the legs up with control, moving very slowly. And then releasing the feet down to the mat. So that is the inversion play for today's class. Try it more than once. If you tucked the right knee in first, on the second round, tuck the left knee in towards your chest. Setting yourself up, foundation is strong, pinkies are tucked in. Walking the feet in as much as you can. Draw the opposite knee in. Bound headstand. And then come back down. When you're ready, take a child's pose. Take your fingers and just gently massage your neck here in child's pose. Walk yourself up, bring your legs out in front of you. Let's cool down and get into our Shavasana. So come onto your back, bend the knees, feet are hip width distance, arms by your sides. Press into your feet, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, squeeze the glutes up at the top, and then release the hips back down to the mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Coming back to how you started, feet are hip width distance. On this next round, we are going to add in our shoulders. So press into the feet, lift the hips up, draw your right shoulder under, draw your left shoulder under, interlace the hands, and then bring the fists down to the mat, reaching the knuckles towards your heels. And try to lift your chin up so you can breathe here. Lift your hips up a little bit higher. Awesome. Let that go. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice hug for such an awesome practice today. Grab your feet. Soles of the feet point up towards the ceiling. You're holding onto the pinky toe sides of the feet. Arms are on the insides of your legs as you pull the knees in past your rib cage for happy baby. And just rock from side to side. keeping your tailbone heavy towards the mat as you do this. You can rock to the right, keep your right leg in happy baby, and extend the left leg so your legs look like a check mark. Rebend the left knee, rock to the left, hold the left side, extend the right leg, and rebend. Lower the feet down, goal post the arms or extend them fully. As you bump your hips to the right, knees fall over to the left for a spinal twist. You can take any leg variation. You can cross your legs, or you can just tuck them, left hand onto the right thigh to hold them in place. And you can look up towards the ceiling or away from your knees. Come back to center, bump your hips to the left, knees fall over to the right, taking the same variation. Come back to center, extend the legs out onto the mat. Rest your hands onto your belly or arms by your sides for your final resting pose, Shavasana. You can close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out the mouth. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let the muscles around your eyes relax. Let your knees relax. Let your feet relax. Let your shoulders melt down to the mat. Unclench your jaw. And let your breath continue to slow down as you drift off into your Shavasana. These next few minutes of class are for you to find some peace in your day and in your practice. Start to deepen your breath, making it more audible to you. Roll over to your favorite side, using that arm as a pillow, keeping your eyes closed. We're just holding on to your Shavasana for just a moment longer here, checking in with how we feel after a practice of yoga. Send yourself some honor and light for showing up today on your mat and for putting in the effort. Keeping your eyes closed and gently, with as little effort as possible, come to a comfortable seat on your mat. Bringing your hands to prayer at heart center, bowing your chin to your chest as a sign of gratitude for this moment, for this practice, and for this life. I want to thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you today through your practice. At the end of every class, I say Namaste, which means to you I bow. So with all the love in my heart, Namaste. Thanks everyone. Drink lots of water, and if you like this class, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much.